Yep. and time forgets. Come with me to a place where our two hearts can beat as one. We will see where the moon and the stars meet the setting sun. We will be in a place that only lovers can share. And it can be anywhere, just as long as you and I are there. There is a star shining out on us from far above. That's where we are. Every moment we're in love. There comes a time, and it won't be very long from now, when you and I will never be alone.
Good evening, everyone. Please give a round of applause for an intro music that is beautiful from Cyril Peterson. My name is Celeste Ntuli, for those who don't know. Why is this blonde lady here? What are you fixing? What is this? Are you trapping me? It's just a mic. Oh, nice. You never know these things. There's too much technology. The next thing I'll see my, hi, this camera's hi, why didn't you tell me? You don't just take a surprise camera work. I'm a big girl. You must warn me so I can tuck in. That's one thing that we are worried about as big girls, tucking in. So you don't take pictures just anyhow. You show your beautiful side. How are you guys doing? My name is Celeste, like I said. I'm Celeste Ntuli. I'm a comedian and actress, and I know you guys don't have time for TV, so I need to introduce myself. These are alumni people. They work degrees upon degrees and PhDs, and it's funny because they got a dropout to MC this gig for you. That's how life works. Well, we have a great program today, and amazing people from UJ that have been here. Some of you guys have done great things, I've heard. Some of you are still starting. Some of you have just started a job and you're like, hey, why don't call me alumni yet? Because it's difficult when you're just starting to work. Everything you budget. And then you find those aunties that tell you, it's been a week you're working, and then someone says, why can't you open a funeral something? You're like, yes. Black people, we love death. We don't save money to travel. It's for the funeral. If you don't go home too much, they say, hey, when is on your band? And you're like, well, I'll be dead. I don't care. Well, today it's not about death as much as I was surprised because we just had, our legend fallen and some other artists. I find it very funny that we live in the age of social media, so much so that people, when they hear someone is dead, before they even mourn or cry, they're looking for the pictures. Let me check the pictures, gonna say RIP, what. People were going crazy looking for Huma Segela's pictures and whatnot. And I couldn't say now, because whatever you say, it becomes like you are bragging, Because I've met him, I've worked with him, but I couldn't talk about these things now because he's passed on. Like everyone else is gonna be like, now it's Celeste. And please don't like RIPs. What are you saying? Some people comment wrong things there. You say RIP, they say lol. That's not a lol comment. It's RIP. Or double like or clap. We must watch your emojis perfectly because emojis are there for a reason. Yeah. So we're going to have a good time. Me, I'm just going to call people who are going to talk here in serious English. Don't expect big words for me. My high school fees was 40 rand. My English is for understanding, telegram. I don't care whether you find wrong propositions, advert, I don't care. All I know, you heard what I'm going to say, okay? So let's not stress each other here, because English sometimes, even white people, you can tell that white people had all the tactics to take the land, even from their language. They had to confuse us. You must swallow the P. Why are you swallowing the alphabet? Because for me, I'm Zulu. It's psychology and knowledge. No, K is silent. Why is it there, John? Wasting alphabets. We have a lovely person that I've met and I had a chance to talk to because they gave me this biography. Sometimes to read a biography, it's a mess. It's better to hear from a person herself. Honestly, I'm taken with this story. She's amazing too. Itumeleng Seku, and her book is around here. You can get it for 200 rand. And Cyril Peterson as well. Your CD is 100 rand. Welcome to the world, my brother. That's how we sell. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy and be inspired to even get more degrees. I don't know for all of you. Where do you stop? Some people like it because my sister is an academic as well. Every time she's going for this and enrolling for that, I'm like, okay, when do you stop? There's no last one, or maybe just because for us we like fiction and read real stuff. What did Msholozi do? Okay, yeah, we are there. chemicals and whatnot, we don't care. Tell us when they kill us. Hey, some of us have important things to do, guys. Hey, if you're an entertainer, and there are certain things, basically. If you're a big girl, a black big girl, believe you me, you have issues. So you don't have time wasting on things that doesn't matter to you. Yeah, people tell you, no, let's go there and do certain things, excursions and hike the mountains. You're like, hey, well, I'm from rural areas. I used to go up and fetch water. It was not hiking, it was walking and fetching water. I have no time now. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy. I'm going to call someone who's going to open this program properly and give proper welcome address. Miss Nomsa Mahlangu, the Senior Director, UJ Sport. I mean, hello. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Damesen yere khuyenant. Manene na manene gazi molweni. Yabanye abavumanga, not even once. Okay. I am truly honored and privileged to stand in front of so much greatness, because each one of you is a great South African citizen. On behalf of the University of Johannesburg Management, under the leadership of our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Marwala, welcome to UJ. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is about celebrating phenomenal women. These two phenomenal women have achieved so much. And tonight is about against all odds. Each one of us, as we sit there, we have faced a number of odds. And I don't know what your odd is tonight, but you need to look beyond your odd. And tonight is about taking lessons from the two speakers and saying, what am I going to do about this that I've heard tonight? I don't know how many of you read poems. There's a phenomenal woman that I love, Maya Angelou. She's got a poem, it says, "Still I rise." No matter what life throws at you, you must rise. Whether you are my sister, my brother, you must still rise. And I think as South Africa, we are facing a whole lot of challenges. People in Cape Town have no water, but they must rise and find a solution. We continue to complain, sorry that I'm going to refer to black women. We continue to complain that there's that ceiling. And unfortunately for us, it's not glass, it's concrete. But we need to rise above that and say, we can do it. No matter what life throws at you, you must always look at the positive. Because in everything that happens in life, there's always a lesson that you must take out of it. And out of that, you must come out a better person. Hey, I'm supposed to welcome and not be speaking. Apologies. I think, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have to take our notepads and write down a few notes. But over and above the notepads, it is all about each one of us building a network from inside this room, because whatever challenge that you have as an individual, the solution might be sitting just next to you. So tonight, I don't have those powers, but I was going to reshuffle the whole room, because seemingly everyone is sitting next to the person they came with. And tonight is about meeting new people. Those that don't have husbands, you might find a husband. Those that don't have girlfriends, you might find a girlfriend. So, welcome to UJ, lighten up and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you for the permission. I'm going to move around the tables. I'm singing. But it happens, eh? All these things, all these events are meant for networking, but you end up sitting with the person that you know, and then you bump him, and hey, look at that guy. Should have sat next to the guy. Don't bump people here. And I'm sure the guys are like, hey, guys, these days, it's difficult for us, though, as women. Yay, I'm 39, guys, yes. You know when you don't fit into anyone because everyone is married. Like when you are in between, like you're not young, you're not old. You are whatever you are at that time. If I want to be young, I'm like, I know I'm singing, I can sleep at 5 a.m., it's fine. And then when I go to the party and I look at the young ones, I'm like, okay, I'm too old, let me go back home. Because you know when you're too old, you must know when you're too old, you go to the fun places and you find everything wrong. Something wrong is you. You are in the wrong place. Don't start, hi, get distraction points, hamba. Okay, I forgot to give you guys housekeeping rules. I don't know if it's rules or something that I must say. There are drink vouchers, 2 per person on registration desk. Of course, that is done, I'm sure. Business cards, please ensure you drop them on the box on the entrance. Then we're going to have a raffle thing. There's some goodies for you guys for standing for books for such a long time because, yeah, I'm sure you need a bit of distressing stuff. I don't know what is in the price, so don't ask me. And then, I'm sure you guys were from here. You know where the ladies and the bathrooms and the whatnot, this side by the lifts. Me, I don't know. But apparently, by the lifts. And then, assistance with anything, staff in black with host tags. Well, I'm in black, but I'm not that staff, so there are people around. I think the description was lost there because, well, I don't have a tag, so clearly not going to come to me for assistance. And there's live streaming. Please note that this event is being live streamed on YouTube. Search Against All Odds. Yes, you can see yourself. So for those who lied, make sure you are covered. You've seen them at the stadium, they see the camera, right? And then photographs are being taken and will be used in our various media platforms. Please tweet, #UJ alumni, #UJ library, #be involved. Yeah, I mean, what are the hashtags? You guys know bigger words. So 3 hashtags here. #UJ alumni, #UJ library, #be involved. I don't know, are you using all of them? One, whichever, it's going to work. Okay, let's move on. And now we're going to have starters being served. And while that is happening, we're going to have a bit of music as well. And then after that, we're going to have the guest speaker, Miss Itumeleng Seku, the author and entrepreneur, an amazing person I just met. I'm trying to be a friend here, so don't look at me. I want to know all the great people. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy your starters and mingle and go to tables and do the things. All right.
That's the time I feel making dreams come true. Yeah, baby. That's the time I feel making love to you. That's the time I feel making dreams come true. Hey, baby, surely in the fall, want your winter turn to spring. Walking in the dark, seeing lovers do their thing. Ooh, that's the time I feel making love to you. That's the time I feel making dreams come true. Yeah, baby. Strolling in the park, watch your winter turn to spring. Walking in the dark, seeing lovers do their thing. Ooh, that's the time I feel making love to you. That's the time I feel making dreams come true. Hey, baby. darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart will still be less. Our heart is anything. I'm thinking about how we will fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch of my hand. For me to fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you, so honey, now take me into an arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Please don't handle my feet at all. I'm thinking out loud, baby, we found love right where we are. Was that you? So can never grow all these evergreens. And baby, your smile's forever in my mind, your memory. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's all part of the plan. I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. Never enough. Take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Please don't handle my feet at all. I'm thinking out loud, baby, we found love right where we are. So baby, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Please don't handle my feet at all. I'm thinking out loud, baby, we found love right where we are. And baby, we found love right where we are. We found love right where we
Thank you. Oh yes, now it's working. You never know these things. Can I get my paper? I left my program here. Thank you. Beautiful music, Cyril. What's the name of the lady that sings very well? Your daughter. Yeah? I like this. Yeah, I like this. You make sure you get your returns. You've been working hard. She must come work for herself now. Yeah, it's a good thing. Oh, she's got a beautiful voice. You have a lovely voice. What's your name? Danny. Oh, Danny D. Lovely. See, don't say you're going to look at this and the next time, can I have a selfie? Because she's going to be big. I love your voice, probably, honestly. Because I've got a big voice. I envy people with great voices because my voice, it's a very white. What? Yeah, I'm going to ask her for a selfie now for investments. Because next time it's going to be expensive. The next time I ask for a selfie, like, who are you? I'm like, oh, they introduced me. I was there at the beginning. My voice is horrible. I wish I can sing. Because, after a couple of, if I had a heavy night, I've lost a couple of men. They'll be calling the next day, hello. And I want to say, it's me, call again. Okay, we're going to move on now. I hope you guys enjoyed your starters. Oh, yes. See, these are the goodies I was talking about. So, since we've realized that most people don't have business cards now, you guys do emails, WhatsApp, some people do business so casual. WhatsApp, hey, what's up? Are you available for this gig? You're like, Aibo, can you call me a miss? Then I know the money is coming. Okay, but what we're going to do for the next draw, we're going to ask you guys to give us your name tags so that it can be fair. Then we can, you see, we understand. Relax. I love your head wrap, it's so nice. Yeah, see, I'm not ENCA. Okay, find a drum roll. Okay. I messed up there. Let me not, okay, yes, I can't look already. People, I can tell how were you were when the ANC was doing the elections. You're like, hey. Do you have your card here? Cross fingers. Cross all of them, including the toes. Okay, the next person to get a nice, whatever that is there, they didn't tell me. Dr. Abejide Ade Ibijola. How far now? Go get your things. Yeah, here's your present. You thought you were not sure? Congratulations. I don't know, are they allowed a speech or two? No, you're good. No speeches, you're good. Abejide Ade Ibijola, your name. Ade Ibijola, okay, why table peril there? You are not sure who's your father. Okay. A picture, yes, of course. I was once with a doctor as a dropout. It's a very beautiful achievement. Thank you. Hey, don't come too close, I'm singing. Another one. Yeah, I was in Nigeria, guys. It's confusing, eh? I went there in December. Yes. Let me tell you something, sisters. Yeah. You are not singing, you just don't have a visa. So, try to save for otherwise this time. And they take all sizes. I love them. They don't discriminate. Okay. Another one. Drum roll. Melissa Joy Golden. Wow, okay. My neighbor. Hey, Melissa. And I've got a joke about Melissa. I was like, I don't know if I will say it now. And you look like a proper Melissa. How long did you date your husband?
Before we got married.
Yeah, you see, white people have got rules. You must date 45 times. Chow someone else's money. I'm still thinking. We're not an item yet.
18 months.
Woo! Jabulani will kill you. 1 6-pack of beer. Let's go home. Congratulations. Okay, another people, so we're going to have more rifles here. There's two prizes, only two. So, yeah, keep them crossed and whatnot. I'll keep this business card for myself because I'm a comedian. I need endorsements. Sponsorship. No, I'm not messing around. I'm here for my money. I'm taking them and I'm keeping them inside. Yeah, we must hustle for your money. Hey, for us as entertainers, we must go there to these offices and try to look posh. Meanwhile, you want to say things in a layman's language as you understand and start talking like, hey, I wish I had Batabile translator right now, sir. Is it too soon? Okay. It's never too soon, it's a joke. It happened. All right. I'm going to call now the guest speaker. She's amazing, like I said. I wanted to interview her, really. I think she was like, hey, what's going on with this woman? As soon as she come sit here, let me tell me about yourself. Oh, what? Hey, white people, don't put things, I bang stuff here. Okay, please give it up for Itumeleng Seku, the author and the entrepreneur.
Dumelang, Legang, Ruteng, and good evening to the guests and to every single one of us, yeah? Great. It's so good to be back at UJ after, I was actually calculating, I think it's around 5 to 6 years now. I haven't been back here since the day I graduated, and I'll tell you why. Because it took me 5 years to graduate. So when I left, I was like, bye, UJ. I'll never see you guys again. And today I'm here to talk about the power of resilience. And then I'm going to bring my degree as well. I've seen a few of the people that I knew whilst I was here, through church and so on. So my name is Itumeleng Seku, and I was burnt when I was only 11 months old. I was sleeping in the bed, and then the candle fell on top of the bed. I was wearing a pink and white dress that morning, which my dad had bought me that Saturday, right? And then when the candle fell, I apparently did not cry. And my mom and her brothers, they were in the next room, and they smelled the smoke. And then my mom ran and she found me burning. It was a 70 degrees Celsius fire. And when she picked me up from the bed, my right hand stayed behind. My brain scales were showing. My right, the side of me was completely ruined. I was in a coma for 3 months, and I had a white glove on my left hand, and every single day, one finger would fall within that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. Okay, now I need to behave. And every single day, one finger would fall within that glove, until I was only left with one thumb. So heya to this thumb, which was so strong enough, right, to stay behind. And then I was left with only one finger and one hand. Well, half a hand. And then my doctor had to make a fake, something there. I don't want to call it an ear because it doesn't look like this one, right? Which was made by God. But I'm so appreciative. I lost 70% of my the vision. So I wear glasses. I don't like wearing glasses because I was called 4 eyes, right? But I'm so glad that I don't have to wear glasses when I'm not reading. And then from being in a coma for 3 months. I was then in hospital for another 3 years. And in the totality, I've had 104 surgeries fixing me up. My brain bones were showing. The tissues were exposed. And I remember, well, I actually don't remember, but my mom said to me that whilst I was there, the doctors wanted to switch the machines off, because they said to my mom, she has no hands, she has no fingers, she can't see, what quality of life is this young lady going to have? And my mom said, hell no, you will let my child live. And if I come here and I find her dead, I will sue you. And on that note, my mom was in hospital with me every single day, 24/7, because my mouth was completely burned. So they could not feed me food because of this huge hole, right? The food would just stream from my mouth. And because literally 70% of my body is completely burned, they then said, okay, we can't even give her a drip, so what now? And then my mom said, you know what, I will feed her water. So I was fed water for 3 years of my life only. And that's how I managed to survive. And then on that note, and then started this thing called school, right? And I started school at a school in Parktown called Hope School. And it was a school for the physically challenged. However, when I was 9 years old, I was teased by my fellow physically challenged learners. And they would call me names from you name it, burnt chicken, scarred face, KFC, literally these brand names. And that crippled my self-esteem to a point where I felt like, you know what, I don't want this thing called life, I don't want to be here. I'm not beautiful. More from these fellow learners that were just teasing me, I was also not helped by the media. Am I right? Because the media has a certain perception of what beauty is supposed to look like. And if you do not fit, then automatically you are already shoved away. And in that moment, I said to myself, I will never ever be beautiful because I don't have hands. Okay, well, one hand. I don't have fingers. 90% of my face, it's scarred. What now? And then I tried committing suicide. My first suicide attempt, I was in grade 5. And then my second suicide attempt, I was 15 years old. And there it was adolescence, boys, society, that word again, beauty, And then in grade 11, I then saw a few people dying from trying to commit suicide from pills, okay? But the nice thing with them is that they actually died. And then I took 300 pills, and then I wrote a note to my mom, and I said, hi, Mom, thank you so much for your love, for your support, but I just don't want to be here anymore, I don't want to be here, Mom. And then I drank 300 pills. And, oh yes, I then decided to sleep so that I can at least try and, not die a painful death, in my sleep or so on. And then a couple of hours later, I was so annoyed. Like, really now? You know, I woke up, no pain, no foam to at least try and show that I was at least trying something, nothing, you know, and I was just left with my note. And in that moment, I said to myself, you know what? I've tried committing suicide 3 times now, and it's not working, clearly, all right? So what now? I then said, okay, I'm just going to live this thing called life with no dreams, no vision, nothing. And my life was school, sleep, okay? And then when I matriculated in 2007, I met a very, very hot gentleman. Hey now. Right? With muscles, ladies, you know, with the voice, you know, yeah, he was a graduate as well, with a PhD, you know, and he came to me and he said, I actually find you so beautiful. And I looked at him and I thought, are you talking to someone else? You know, and he said, no, I find you so beautiful. But over and above that, I'm actually in love with you. And then I said, no, you know, just, you know. You know, and I said, no. And then this guy just, you know, persisted and persisted. Ladies, you know those men that just won't take no for an answer. And he just persisted. And then I said, okay, fine, you know what? It's fine, you know. And then we got married that very same year. He wasted no time. And then in 2008, he said to me, my love, you have a purpose, and your purpose is to bring hope. And that's when I came to UJ, this campus. I've got wounds, okay, about this campus. And then I studied media. And a qualification that was supposed to take me 3 years, it took me 5 years. And I remember, and I'm going to tell you why, okay? Because I'm actually not ashamed. It's in my book. So if it's in my book, then it means, you know, like, right. The very first year when I came to UJ, I was from a private school, and we were around 12 learners in one classroom, okay? We were all disabled. Like, if someone calls you something, you're like, you too, you know what I'm saying? Like, hi, you know, like, yeah, like, whatever, you know, like, your leg is broken, bro, you know what I'm saying? And then you come to UJ, and you're surrounded by 5,000 normal people. Normal, right? In one classroom. And I'm sitting down there, and people are staring at me. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, you know, like, what's happening here? You know, actually, I do not want to be here. And then I stayed at Race for a good 6 months. And I studied myself, okay? Because I thought I was so clever. Like, you know, I can do this thing, you know, like, hey now, you know. And then the very first semester came, and I failed my major. Like, I'm here studying media, and then I failed media. But thank God I actually passed, you know, everything else, and my bursary stayed. They said, you know, like, we understand, you know, but study, girl. And I said, no, it's fine. And then then the second semester, I then went to class. It was not easy, but I said to myself, you know what? I'm here to stay, okay? I am not going to allow society and the world to tell me that I am not great enough, that I'm not beautiful enough, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to study. And then I passed my second semester. And then the second year came, second year half, and I studied this other very beautiful course called philosophy. Okay, very, very nice. And I passed 1A, 1B, and I passed 2A. Then it came to 2B, and I thought I was clever. I was one of those people that would cram my textbook. So ask me anything about Karl Marx and I'll tell you. And my lecturer was like, oh, hell no. You need to describe and explain. And I was like, I will explain according to the textbook. And I was like, girl, I don't care if you don't have no hand. I'm going to make you fail. And I failed my 2B. And then my third year, I then did philosophy again. And then I failed it again. And I was like, what's going on here? And then the very last year, my 5th year, I stayed 5 years here because of only one course, philosophy. And then I decided to finally go to my lecturer. And I said, listen here, but as you can see, everything that's in here, it's in my textbook. And he was like, and that's why you're failing, And I said, okay, so what do you want from me? And he said, I want you to sit and I want you to contemplate about what this philosopher is actually saying. But here's the lesson from there. I did not give up. I stayed. In that very same year, I actually remember the very first time I failed. It was the very first time I'd failed in anything. And I was so shattered. And I was like, am I going to be in a class with people that were in first year last year? Oh, hell no, And I didn't go to class for a week or so. And then I decided, it was like, no, girl, not that again, And then we went to class. And that's how I passed, right? I finally got my degree from UJ. It wasn't easy. But the lesson from there is that no matter how many hardballs kick you and come and they throw themselves at you, you do not give up. And I'm saying, look and tell me, what is it that you see? Look and tell me what is it that you see when you see me? Because what you see in me is what is within you. And I'll tell you what I see when I see me. I see greatness. I see a light that has said to herself that, you are unstoppable. And on that note, my husband's name is Jesus Christ, yeah? Yes. Hallelujah. Yes. So, but I also see a woman who has said to herself that, I'm going to define my own path, right? And this is where the quote from Mrs. Garland comes in, and she says, always be a first-rate version of yourself and not be a second-rate version of somebody else. And how many times do we want to be somebody else? How many times do we behave like somebody else? How many times do we walk in somebody's path and not your own? I remember when I came and studied media, my mom said to me, why don't you study accounting? I was always good in maths, maths and accounting and so on. And my mom said, why don't you study that? And I said, no, Mom, I'm actually more than in love with the media industry. Okay, it wasn't a simple path for me, but I walked my own destiny. And my mom is so proud of me today because she's like, I can't believe it, And that is what it takes for somebody to say, no matter how many people say no, I will say yes. all right? And there are 3 things for you to be somebody full of resilience. Number 1, do not give up. It's so cliche, but it's so true. I remember in my 1st year, I said to my mom, you know what? I'm not going back to UJ. I'm not going to do the same course 3 times. I will not do it. And my mom said to me, hey, I'm not going to lose all of that money. Okay, you better go back. And it was not an easy path for me. But I came back. And today, I have a qualification. Number 2, be bold. It was not easy for me to walk within a classroom of learners that were first years last year, and then again of learners that were first years that year. All right? So I literally did one course 3 times. We're talking about 3 years. Be bold. Walk into that classroom with your head held high. Because I walk in society, in the world, with my head held high, guess with what? With my scars. And I'm like, I am so beautiful, you will have to make room for me. Okay, you will have to make room for me. I'm not going to make room for you because I am so pretty. And how I actually discovered my own beauty was when I decided to start learning about what is within me. And that's when I learned that beauty is not actually what you see. Beauty is not actually what you look at. Beauty is actually what you see. And that's when I started seeing my own beauty. That's when I started seeing my own power that lives within me. And this power says, hey girl, here's a life. Let us live it. And I'm going to make a few examples, okay? Real examples. So when I went to go and test for my license, I got there wearing a white vest, and with a jean exposing my right hand. And I was like, Dumela, I'm here to test for my license. And the lady that was, that was going to test me, she looked at me and said, "Ma'am." And I said, me. And, she was so scared. And then I started doing my parkings, and then I passed my parkings. So now it was time for her to get into the car so that we can drive, right? And she stands outside for like a minute or so, and she's busy thinking, Mudisana. I'm going to be driven by this girl with one hand and one finger. No. And then she finally climbed in, but then she fastened her seatbelt so tight that you would be thinking, can you even breathe? And then she said, a small yana prayer there, oh Lord, if you can just protect me and my children, shoo, And then we started driving. And one of my biggest weaknesses, it's speed, okay? And I'll tell you how I get away with it now. And then we started driving, 40, 60, 80, 90. Before I even got to around 95, she's like, young lady, you can't be driving so fast, And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Mama. I'm really, really sorry. And then we got back to the testing station, and she literally stormed out of the car, and she sat wherever she sat for 45 minutes. Okay, so now I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, have I paused? Have I failed? What's going on here? Some people, they're getting Hashem next time. Some of them, they're getting well done, And I'm like, where's that lady? And nobody knows where there she is. And then 45 minutes later, she comes out and she says, well done. You've passed your license, you know. And for me, in that moment, I said to myself, you know what? This lady learned something. She learned never ever to judge someone just by looking at them, because she did not see the strength and the power that was within me that said to me in that morning that, hey girl, we are going to fetch this license. I did not say to myself, let's just go and try it out, because I said to myself, I'm going to get this thing with one hand and with one finger. And I got it. First time around. Over and above that, another example, I type 35 words per minute with one finger and one hand. Statistics says if you are reaching your full potential with 10 fingers and 2 hands, you should be typing 70 words per minute. So the question is, are you reaching your full potential? In where you are right now, in who you're supposed to be, in your purpose? Or have you given up? Have you thrown in the towel and said to yourself, this is so difficult? Just like that head of mountain philosophy. I actually still don't like that course, even till today. But I'll get over it. Okay. Or have you given up? Have you said to yourself, I will never ever be this great? Or have you said to yourself, I will do it, but I will do it maybe tomorrow, and then tomorrow. And then last year it was 2017, and now it's 2018, and you still haven't done it. And I'm standing here with one hand and one finger, and I'm saying, actually, I haven't even come even close to my 7 years of being within the media industry. I haven't even touched base on that. And I'm asking you, are you reaching your full potential? 70 words per minute, ladies and gentlemen, if you are reaching your full potential. When I left UJ, I started working on a channel called 1G. It's a gospel channel on the channel 331. And then from there, I moved to Friends Like These on SABC1 with Sbu. And then I worked on YoTV. And then from YoTV, I worked on another show called Making Moves on SABC1. And then from there, I then became a researcher for UBS. And then I became Sbu's manager and project manager for his foundation, where we gave several learners funds to go and study. And then from there, I then became a content producer for Sbu's show on Metro FM called The Sound Revival. And I met amazing people there, entrepreneurs, very, very successful, and so on. And a lot of celebrities. I then became a content producer for another show on Metro FM for Tami Ngubeni on Metro FM. While I said that, on a show called The Sacred Space, okay? And then from there, I then said, you know what? I'm surrounded by so many celebrities, and they're getting free stuff all the time. I wonder if that is not race learners, because, like we all did that, first year stuff. But anyway, and then from there, I then said, you know what, I'm surrounded by all of these celebrities and they're getting free stuff. So I also want free stuff. And my biggest expense was the soap that I was using, and it's called Dove. And this soap is around 9 Rand. And if you use it, you will know after 3 days, the soap is finished. Right? I'm thinking, I want free Dove soap. And then I sent them an email and I said, hi, Dove, I'm burnt, and I'd like to be a brand ambassador. And then they read the email for 4 months. And then after 4 months, they then wrote back to me and they said, you know what? We actually have a project called The Self-Esteem, you know. And that's when they then signed me on, free soap, money, you know. And then we went to schools around South Africa motivating young little girls on self-esteem and on purpose, all right? And in that project, for me, it was a 2-year project, I was speaking to the most beautiful young girls ever, beautiful. But they would then come, you know, back, and they would cry and they would say, I have so many problems, you know? And that's when I learned that my scars, they are external, and everybody can see them. But so many people have got scars within, you know? And they're hiding them with a lot of things, whether it's how they dress, or whether it's how they behave, you know. Have you ever been in a mall and someone steps on you, or you step on them, and they become so aggressive, right? You're thinking, get that anger out of you. You can't be angry that I stepped on you. I don't care if your shoes from Zara or like whatever, like just chill, you know? Those are the scars that I'm talking about. So many people have got scars then. And my story, it might seem severe or tragic because everybody can see them. But so many people go through tragic stories themselves, and they then have to go through those scars themselves because those scars are not seen. And this is what I've learned about scars and wounds. Okay, after 104 surgeries, I can clearly say that I've become a doctor of scars. Thank you. Okay. And here's the thing. My doctor, Professor Scholes, he would rip the bandage from my body with the scars, with the skin, put it off, and then clean me with grof salt. I don't know what's that called in English, but it's called grof salt, with water. And he would, you know, clean my wounds, take out whatever scars there, you know, with a smile on his face, evil, eh? And this is what I've learned. He forever said to me that, you know what, if I don't clean these scars like this, they will never heal. And I've had 104 operations, and every single scar, wound, would bleed. A lot of blood. And it was always painful, always. And the reason why people don't want to deal with their own wounds is because it's a painful process. Am I right? Your father has raped you. For you to have to go back and walk through that and heal, it's a painful process. Am I right? There are stuff that are going to bleed. You still have to cry. You still have to deal with whatever pain that you've been through. But here's the thing. If you don't deal with your wounds, you will never ever reach your full potential. And it's when you have scars, when somebody can ask you, what do your scars represent? You know, what is it that you can tell me from your scars? Because at the end of the day, we all have a story to tell. Am I right? Yeah? It's just that my story is more external. So people immediately see me and they then see a burn scar and they say, what happened to you? Am I right? But the thing is, we all have a story to tell. And my question to you tonight is, what do your scars represent? If you have scars. Because some people still have wounds of 20 years. What do your wounds represent? And how does that fathom with your purpose? But over and above that, from becoming a brand ambassador for Dove, I then decided to go across South Africa motivating people. And this is what I do on a full-time basis. Simply because we have a lot of wounded people that are walking around and they keep on wounding the next person. And here's the thing. Once again, I have one hand and I have one finger. And I'm standing before you with 10 fingers and 2 hands, and I'm saying to you, are you reaching your full potential? And that's a question that you need to respond to, because that is what is going to take you to the next level. And again, for that example of telling you how I get away with murder, literally, no fingertip, nothing. Okay, so when I'm driving 140, 160, you know, and I'm in a rush, and then a metro stops me, I'm like, oh my God. Then I sit there, open the window, and then I take out my hand. And then the metro guy's like, so, you know, and I'm like, hello, Mr. Police. It's like, you are driving too fast. And I'm like, sure, I am so sorry. Show him the fingers, show him the fingers. Sure, I am so sorry. Then he's like, listen, drive, but don't do it again, okay? Like, yes. Then I woke up and I'm like, whew, I'm late to Shevaton, guys. 160, va, you know? And that is just how I enjoy being called disabled. Because the truth of the matter is people will always call you names. Am I right? But it's how you turn those names into your own fun. And I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun. I was speaking at the SABC a while ago, and the Minister of Women was there, and she said that every single company is supposed to give at least 7% to foundations of people living with disabilities. I was like, oh, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Here's free money, you know? And I'm like, ooh, I have to come up with a proposal because you're forced to give me money, okay? You are forced, all right? And also another way that I actually enjoy being called disabled is the fact that I get beautiful parkings. Like, hey now, okay, and I'll go to a mall, Christmas Day, the mall is packed, but we'll get parking, yes. You know, and I will chill there and I'm like, I want the disability parking. And then they say, oh, you can walk, and I'm like, really? And they give me the parking, quick. So I can actually walk to malls with heels because I just park wherever I want to go, get into the shop, and then go back into my car. Hey now. But here's the thing about the word disability. Disability means that you're unable to do something. Am I right? And the thing is, I can do everything myself. Everything. I can cook, I can clean. I've lived alone for 5 years. So you can imagine. I can do my own laundry, everything, okay? I'm just going with the perks of not having half a hand and therefore being called disabled, of enjoying the perks of South Africa. But in actual fact, I'm actually not supposed to get those perks because I'm just as noble as you guys. And here's the thing. Have you realized that there are people with 2 hands and 10 fingers that are more disabled than me? And you're not achieving, you're not going anywhere because your mindset is disabled. Not you, not your physicality, your mindset. And that is where the power of the mind comes in. Because the moment you say to yourself, I cannot do something, then immediately your body reacts to that and you will not be able to do it. But immediately when you say, I am going to do this, I am well abled, you will do it. Example, my license. First time. I hear people say, I got my license the 6th time, eh? Sure. And I'm like, really? And I'll tell you what, the only thing that you have to change is your mindset. Where do you want to be? Tell your mindset this. I want to be here this time. And your mind and your body will take you there. So people who are well mobile, 2 hands, 10 fingers, cannot even type 35 words per minute. And I can type 35 words per minute with 1 thumb and 1 hand. And I'm not a receptionist, excuse me. So no, it's not a receptionist job for you to be able to type 35 words per minute. So where do you want to see yourself? Are you waiting for Cyril Ramaphosa to say, here's a job? Or are you reinventing yourself? You've got 2 hands and you've got 10 fingers, remember? 2016, no, in 2014, the Department of Education, they wrote my story in the matric paper. And matriculants across South Africa, they then wrote back to me and they said, we are so inspired by a story. And then I read the comprehension and I was like, false. And then I decided to write my own story. And that's my book titled, What Do You See? And again, that question pops up again. What is it that you see when you see me? Because what you see in me is what is within you. What is it that you see when you see me? And I'll tell you how I'm here, fractioning your thoughts. I'm not able to carry this mic with my left hand, but I'm carrying it with my right, intentionally. Because I'm trying to show you that I'm well abled. What are you doing with your life? Think about it. But over and above that, I then launched my book in South Africa. And I'm not a celebrity, but I decided to be bold once again. And I launched it across South Africa. Took it everywhere. Everywhere. Every 9 provinces. And all my halls were packed. Why? My mindset. I said, I'm going to launch my book across South Africa. And people came. Mindset. I then said to myself, you know what, I'm scared of candles. So when I meet, my husband one day, he won't be able to be romantic nyana with some candles. Can't you see that I'm burnt? You know? And then I decided to face my fears, and I decided to make candles myself. And I went on YouTube, and I said how to make candles. And they showed me step by step. And now I've got a business where I'm making candles. And guess who buys those candles? You. With 2 hands and 10 fingers. And guess who's making them? Me. With 1 hand and 1 finger. So do we have to wait for the government to say, here's jobs? No. We've been well equipped. We've got diplomas, BAs, CAs. What are you waiting for? Huh? What is it that you're waiting for? You've got a qualification. You've got 10 fingers. You've got 2 hands. You can walk. Walk to wherever you need to get to. But at the end of the day, every single music that you dance to, those toes need to be yours. And that is what when I say purpose, I'm saying live your life according to you, according to where you want to be. And I'm saying I've done it with only 1 hand and 1 finger. What is it that is stopping you? Nothing. So rise up, child of God, and shine. And I'm wearing a watch, but I surpassed my time. But it says, I was burnt by a candle, and the candle tried to ruin me. The candle tried to kill me. But the very same candle is living within me right now, and the candle is shining bright. And I'm saying, allow your light to shine bright. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's amazing. I wanted you to go on me. I didn't want the words to stop. For real, it's amazing. I think from all of us, you've taught me a lot, you know. Your bravery is too much. I don't think I'll ever go back to candles if I was you, like. Yeah, but it's great. I think we can learn a thing or two. So it's not only black coffee, as well you. So we must really learn. Yeah, we thought I value black coffee uthi kuphela. Na makhandlela. Thini ke wena? Okay, I think yes, we deserve to eat after that. It's a it hasn't suit. Sengenze ngasuthi acabanga yini it's rare. I think ngasho ukuthi leseningibuka ukuthi awusho ukuthi usuthi cha phela. So I hope you guys enjoy the dinner that's going to be served now while the music goes on. And I know I'm going to give you my something at the end. I don't want to ruin all these beautiful talks because, see, this is amazing. Let's start with people that make sense, and then I'll take you home with a choco too. So, yes, are they ready with the? Hello, are you serving now, or should I? No, yeah. Now, yes. Hey, Baba Yanguchi, uthini manje? Awungibona into ngizowenzani la, you want to serve now? Okay, I think the music, Danny. Can you give us a little song? I like your dress. Yeah, look at us. We look like desperate housewives. I know there's your dad here. He's like, that's not a joke I want. But I think you must take a selfie, yes.
Selfie.
And when you're getting married, you deserve a lobola. I don't care whether it's in your culture. She's too pretty. Please try something. You know, I know there's a little bit of black in the line somewhere. Just invite that blackness. She's too pretty to just go with. Because for us, a lobola is an important thing. Eh? Although it's a problem, but you are not there. So you must make sure you preserve yourself, okay? Because the more you preserve yourself, the higher the price. Yeah, that's how it goes. So you can come in and do your music while this. I just wanted to talk to you. Yes, I thought that was my intro. You someone start here. Maybe I'll join in with the backing. You never know, eh? And I'll mess the tune. And please remember, yes, the CDs are outside 100 Rand and the book is 200 Rand. You got degrees. Come on. Now 25, January is over. Hey, swipe, mine swipe, call me e-wallet. Sekulula manje, akekho ngisho yabona nasemgaqweni abantu bazosicela ngama speed points. Okay, I think Cyril is sorting out something in the speaker or whatnot. Yes, I sorted. Okay. Please give it up for the wonderful, the amazing Cyril and her daughter, Danny, giving us the great music. Yay!
Let's take our time tonight, girl. Above us, all the stars are watching. There's no place I'd rather be in this world. Your eyes are where I'm lost in. Underneath the chandelier, we dancing on the lawn. There's a reason to hide what we feeling inside right now. So baby, let's just turn down the lights and close the door. Oh, love it, just put your own in and anymore. No, you won't need it no more. Let's just kiss so we're naked, baby. Massage it on the floor. Oh, take it up for me, for me, for me, Thank you.
Stood up for each other. You see. Why
are you rushing?
It's fine, yeah.
But how deep is your love?
Hold on. For all the times that you rain on my parade, in all the clubs you're getting using my name. You think you broke my heart, a girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't. And I didn't want to write a song, cause I didn't want anybody thinking I still care, I don't. But you still hit my phone up. Maybe I'll be moving on, and I think you should be something I don't want to hold back. Maybe you should know that my mama don't like you, she likes everyone. And I never lied to admit that I was wrong. I've been so caught up in my job, didn't see what's going on, and now I know I'm better sleeping on my own. Cause if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself. And if you think that I'm still holding on to something, you should go and love yourself. And if you like the way you look that much, oh baby, you should go and love yourself. And if you think that I'm still holding on to something, you should go and love yourself. You should go and love yourself.
you could see me now, the one who says that he'd rather roam, the one who says he'd rather be alone. If you could only see me now, if I could hold you now, just for a moment, if I could really make you mine, just for a while, we turn back the hands of time. If you could only hold me now, I've been too long in the wind, too long in the rain, taking any comfort that I can. I've been looking back and longing for the freedom of my change. I'm lying in your loving arms again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. These songs I'm playing is all on my new CD. I hope you like them. Just for your love, just for your love, just for your love, I would do anything
every performance, we need your participation for clapping of hands. Can you please give them a round of applause? Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys are still tweeting hashtag UJ alumni, hashtag UJ library, hashtag be involved. I was given another hashtag, against all odds. Then they said you must hashtag UJ against all odds, because if you say against all odds, it doesn't show. Are you tweeting or are you responding to your WhatsApp? That guy is stressed. You can tell someone is stressed. Oh yeah, eh? In bakufuna ikweletu hola namhlanje ziyasha. Are you guys cool now? Yes, we continue with the program. Oh yes. I don't know if I should. Oh wow. Wow. I'm late. This thing is maningi here. So that they don't say I messed up and I called people who don't belong. Let me just do this. You can see, all of you. Please bring yours. Now yours is gonna be on top. I will now seal. I must really turn this thing now. Is anyone? Oh, now you also forgot. Okay. Is anyone forgotten their name tags? No? Yes? Okay, no. You want to take a picture of me doing this thing? Yes, let me give you a nice one, as if I don't see you. Okay, sorry, I'm going to give. Oh, there. Hey, I went. Yes, hi, girl. Okay, Manini Ramakam. All right. The first winner is Kisalebuga Ngakanti. Your name is here for confusion, yes? We can use your name for political strategy. We're gonna have a Kalise Khabonga Kisalebuga. Oh, Kisalebuga. Ngakanti. Hey, for Zulu people, it's a struggle. We can't even say R. We say land, lama, lound. Okay, let me. Yeah, the yay. Thank you. Do you want your name tag back or? Okay, they can keep it. Unless I'll give it to any of the guys who's going to ask. Are you payful or you pay less? Hey, what's rope? Ma pay less, shush. Kshubile life in. Melissa, you've won now. You don't care. You're walking around there. We can see you. All right, I've taken another one. Last one. Dominic Zwane. Oh, the side was just lucky. You guys didn't do your prayers properly. There's something. Dominic. Rich people are Dominic. Then good luck. Ube now we're wealthy with your torn jeans. I know it's a style, it's not poverty. But okay, we're going to continue and get another guest speaker, Miss Zanele Modibo, personal development speaker with some beautiful hair. Okay, hi girl. I didn't like what. Whoa, no sister. Whoa. Okay, I don't know where to start. The shoes are everything, and I love the dress. Create your own figure. Thank you.
Us big girls have to try.
Okay. No problem.
Good evening, ladies and beautiful gentlemen. So let's say, are you bayless or are you bayful? So I'm truly honored to be here this evening. It is a privilege. Thank you. In observing all protocol, I'd like to acknowledge the following individuals. Ms. Nomsa Mhlangu, Senior Director of UJ Sports. Mr. Lebete Malefo, Acting Executive Director of Internationalization. Ms. Baiponi Kromani Goliath, Acting Executive Director of the Library. Ms. Karen Kotia, who, by the way, is responsible for this evening tonight. Thank you very much, Karen. She's a Senior Manager and Development of the Alumni. Our formidable MC, Ms. Celeste Nduli. Round of applause, please. She's kept us so entertained. Whew. I'd also like to give special thanks and acknowledgement to Susan Hlahlani, I hope that's right, Senior Alumni Coordinator from the Division of Institutional Development, and the entire team that is responsible for us being here this evening. Okay, right. I cannot, in all honesty, delve into my talk without shining a 10K watt light on our inspiring guest speaker, Ms. Itumeleng Seku. You have shared and framed your life experience with us this evening as a reminder of what is truly important and meaningful. Your odds pale when compared to your audacity. Thank you. I do not have one finger and one hand. I did not pass my driver's license the first time around, or even the second. I cannot type 70 words per minute. And I'm so inspired at your courage. Your words tonight remind me of Nias Nin, the philosopher, and it's apt because you did not like philosophy, who said that your life expands in direct proportion to your courage. You have been a true testament of how your life has been an expansion through your courage. And I cannot begin. I want to actually go home. I want to run out of this hall and go home and start. I want to make candles. I want to speak to people. I want to be bold because of your words. You are years younger than me. I won't say how many. Pela, I'm trying to be bayful. But you have inspired me beyond measure, and I want to say thank you for your courage and your bravery. Okay, so I'll start. So I've been requested to share my experience this evening under the auspices of the title, Against All Odds. My name is Zanele Mudiba, and I'm an alumni of UJ, previously known as RAL. And to this year will be 18 years since I first stepped into this campus. Like, what's going on? So I've been asked by Susan and team to speak about the odds that I've had to contend with, the ones that Itumeleng mentioned, the ones that are within, the ones that are insidious, that are not obvious, that we do not wear on our sleeve and on our hands and on our bodies. I'm asked to specifically speak about this using my personal background and my professional background to anchor this against all odds. I find this request extremely daunting, and I'm profoundly challenged by it. But if Itumeleng can do it, so can I. As I reflected on these odds, it may come as no surprise to many of you that all the isms featured on the decks of cards that I was handed. The unholy trinity of racism, sexism, and ageism feature quite prominently in my life experience. What may come as a surprise, however, is that the first odd that I had to contend with was that I was not born a boy. Now, this is the deal. I am the third daughter of 4. When I came, it was a foregone conclusion that I would be a boy. Well, ta-da! I'm not a boy. I do not have what Warren Buffett calls the lottery of the uterus. I came in the most disenfranchised form for somebody who is born in South Africa, who's born amongst what they call the bottom billion. I came in the form of a black South African woman. In all seriousness, though, I'm certain that we all have a common understanding or shared understanding of what it means to be against all odds, to beat the odds, to push against them, to ignore them, and to delve into the deep, dark secret of being other. If you don't know what that means, let's use my definition. Simply put, we all want to turn copper into gold. We all want to be alchemists. A while ago, I came across Randy Push's best-selling book called The Last Lecture, where he posits that if there's an elephant in the room, we should introduce it. The elephant in this room is that we're all looking for the universal elixir. We are constantly in pursuit of this potion, this tonic, this process, this manual, this system, this thing, this base metal that's going to change our circumstance, change our jobs, change our families, change our money, change our face, change everything that we find discomfort with, change the era that we have identified. We are all looking for this gold. We all want, in essence, the same core experience of creating something meaningful, something sustainable, something significant. And the odd, which is something that is different and not usual, is a good place to start. It sets up the scene. It informs us that something often outside of our control, like the candle, is here. Something that is set up to prejudice you is here or has happened. Something worth focusing on. But what we do, alchemists, is transcend that something with our dirty hands digging in the trenches, and we become alchemists. A poem recited by Liam Neeson articulates best the spirit that I'm talking about, this gold-making process. And he says, I quote, "Once more into the fray, into the last good fight I'll ever know, to live and die on this day, to live and die on this day." Every day, this is what we do. We wake up and we meet with those circumstances and those odds. We walk as the walking wounded, internally, wanting this potion, wanting this alchemy. Essentially, it speaks about not leaving any effort on the table. At work, at home, in our business, in our relationships, it speaks about getting comfortable with knowing and mastering yourself. Ruggie Rowe puts it aptly when she says, being successful, beating the odds, being an alchemist, is not just poetry. It is the plumbing too. I agree that beating the odds and going against the odds is primarily about plumbing. And I am a plumber. So people want to know, Zanele, what is the strategy? What is the holy grail? What is the secret? And I'll tell you. The secret in turning plumbing into poetry is compassion. So how did I beat the odds from being born in one of the poorest dorpies, from a province which has one of the highest alcohol fetal syndrome rates in the country, Kimberley and the Northern Cape? How did I make it out? What inspired my father, who was a shop steward, a communist leader father, by the way, to hail a bus, something like a Padco bus, and put me in that bus alone at 6 years old, on the way to a Christian school so that I can attend it for a better education? I emphasize the word communist because at that Christian school, I was led by men and women of the cloth. And if anybody knows anything about politics, communism and Christianity are not a friend made in heaven. What was it about that man that decided to do that? What was it about the circumstances that led me, a young girl from Kimberley, supported by young, bright ladies of all shades and backgrounds, to bullishly plant the seed and co-create one of the residences in this year institution called Lebone Ladies Residence? I'm going to take a minute from reading my speech and really try to draw the picture for you. It's the year 2000. There are 18 young girls who are living on the other side of Kingsway. And we are all from these small dorpies, Kimberley, Mpumalanga, Nelspruit, you know, and everybody that's inside Rez, that's in Schoenveld, that's in Bastion, that's in Amperdar, are these elite Joburg white young individuals. And there we are, sitting right across the road, young females, and we have a nameless residence. And this is young women of all shades and backgrounds. We were black, we were white, we were colored, we were Indian, and we were even Chinese, and we were 18. And we sat under a tree in the year 2000, and we decided in a sea full of Europe, we would build a residence that is African and represents Africa. And so there we were, and we started Libone's Ladies' Residence. One shaking hand in front of the other, by ourselves. We started the name, we built the costumes, we built the walk rides. Earlier we heard the walk rides of the first years. I was called Ash Elenez, the guardian of the Nile. That was my resident name, and we made it up. So there is no elixir, there is no potion, there is no method, there is no strategy. We are all making it up as we go along. The trick is to put one foot in front of the other and respond with compassion. And for me, as an 18-year-old young girl, that was my first lesson as an adult of beating the odds in an institution that was predominantly white, to walk up to Rector van der Merwe's office and say, "Daar's 'n probleem hierso." And he chucked me out and said, "Meisie, gaan SR kantoor toe." And there I tumbled into the SRC office, and they said, "If you want to change, you better be part of the solution." And so there I was, as a 19-year-old, in a sea full of white Afrikaans 4-year students. I stood for the SRC as a first year. And of course, I mean, that's arrogant. I lost. But second year, I stood again. And I became the youngest, first black SRC chairperson of this institution, previously known as RAO. So how did I crack this code to become this SRC president and work for leading multinationals and co-win the national show called The Apprentice South Africa as one of the youngest contestants and represent my country? Yes, that's me. And represent my country in different forums and start my own business and work my way through this wonderfully messy vine called life. So the point I'm trying to make really is this: there is no strategy, there is no holy grail, there is no secret. There is just viewing the odds as opportunities, placing one shaking foot in front of the shaking foot, and willing yourself to see things differently, to see with compassion, to ask yourself, what is the most compassionate response to this here situation, to this here right now? How can I respond with compassion? So the part we most want to talk about is the winning, is the end, right? We want to talk about the very rarely talked about firsts, but that's not important. What I really want to strip down today is the things that we don't talk about, is how these scaffoldings, these institutions that we want to so get into, that we want to so be the leaders of, that we want to be the helm of, when we see individuals speaking and we say to ourselves, how do I get there? Nobody ever talks about the grummy, painful, messy rejection along the way. After winning The Apprentice South Africa, I had what I call my early life crisis. I was 24 years old, 25, and the world was supposed to be at my oyster. And everything I was promised and every opportunity that lay before me was subsequently taken away. But the very individuals that we felt were our champions. So what do you do, right, as a black individual in this country, where you are portrayed in this platform as having just won the lottery? You cannot speak against your heroes. You cannot speak against the people who support you. This is similar for corporates as well. You do not tell, right? I became massively depressed. I was at the helm of a 50 million rand business just in my balance sheet, and I was depressed. I was living in a fancy penthouse in Cape Town, fully furnished, fully sponsored, and I was depressed. I was being shown on most TV screens, on magazines, and I was depressed. Because the people I trusted the most and the people I loved the most are the ones that hurt me. But 15 years later, that was not their responsibility. It is absolutely no one's responsibility to give you a handout. It is no one's responsibility to give you an opportunity, to wake you up and tell you, you know, Zanele, here, have this. This is for you. You have to have the locus of control to know that every single opportunity, even one that you legitimately want, you have to fight for. You have to want. You have to have what Angela Duckworth calls grit. Grit is not just resilience. It's not just the ability to want to do something well. It is intentional. It is putting an intention and holding on to that intention for a long period of time, long after the lights have gone off, long after you want to go home, long after everybody else has put down the baton. It is staying the course. Success is about plumbing. The poetry comes 20, 15 years later. The poetry does not come immediately. So those who see us and feel that we are so successful and we really made a run of it, know that our wounds are open. Itumeleng spoke about maybe you don't even have scars. Your wounds are fresh. They are cesspools internally. And it is okay to talk about how difficult it is, how depressed you get being alone, how afraid you are of your managers, of your colleagues, how every day you walk into your workplace, you have a gray ball in the pit of your stomach because you just don't want to be there, because it's not a proper fit. How afraid you are of saying something meaningful in a boardroom because somebody will stare at you. How afraid you are of calling your colleague out when you know they're doing something wrong because you'll be seen as being not complying to this unspoken rule of not putting yourself out there. It is so painful to see the fear of these scaffoldings that we've created. The mental fear is what feeds that. Somebody spoke earlier about how the ceiling is not glass, it's concrete. I have had experience of this concrete ceiling. I actually call it a stiletto ceiling. Because there you are, every year, going up, dangling a carrot. I mean, I worked in one of the most amazing multinationals. I've worked for JP Morgan Investment Bank. I've worked for Absa Wealth. I've worked for Procter & Gamble. At the highest echelons, at ESCO level, reporting directly into the CEO. And every single day, I wanted to cry. The pain of getting there, the pain of being the only. Don't ever find yourself comfortable in an environment where you're the only. Don't ever find yourself comfortable in an environment where you are a big fish swimming in a small pond. It is time to leave. And I really, really wanted to hone in on this. It's okay. It's okay to let go of the 7-figure salary. It's okay to start afresh. It's okay to register for something else. It's okay to lose your bond and get a smaller house to fund your dream. Nobody cares. Nobody is looking at you, judging you, waiting for you to make your move so they can make a joke of it. It is in your mind. So I really, really want to say to you today that it is a painful, insidious walk to the top. So make sure you take a couple of friends with you. Make sure you're not the only on the table. The only woman, the only black, the only male, the only white. If you find yourself amongst a sea of onlys, there is a problem there. There is a problem with the structure of where you're at and what you're doing. Raise your voice, and that is compassion. People think compassion is soft, right? Compassion is love. Compassion is saying to yourself, how is it best? What will be the best outcome to this situation? What is the best response to this situation? The best response to racism is equality. The best response to sexism is inclusive. The best response to ageism is making sure that you have a team of people who are well-seasoned and who are young. It is important that we put down these scaffoldings and managers stop ruling with iron fists. Young individuals and young managers stop coming to work afraid of lifting your voice, hence you will get retrenched or fired. and leaders saying they've got open door policies when their doors are technically closed. That is being compassionate towards yourself. There's only one you, and only you can manufacture the gift that the world needs. And you're sitting there saying, but there's so many of us in the department, so many of us in the group, how am I going to stick out? That's because you're thinking competitively. You need to think creatively. I don't know how many people told me and said, your marketing consultancy will never work. It's a low barrier to entry. How many marketing companies are there? But there's only one me. And there's only one you. Nobody ever says, oh, your engineering company will never work. Look at how many engineers there are. So don't let people put you in a box where you don't belong. There is everything of everything. And there will always be everything of everything. But there's genuinely only one platform, only one you, only one opportunity that has gone through the odds that you've gone through. And I really wanted to focus on that. Stop being afraid. The only way up is through. And the only way through is to let your inherent talent, your inherent skill, speak for itself. I remember once I was on the show and there was a gentleman called Mohammed, and he said to me, oh, Zanele can't win The Apprentice. She's so young. She's only had 4 years experience. She's only been at Procter & Gamble for 4 years. And I remember watching Oprah, and I remember her saying that the biggest deterrent, to ageism and sexism and racism is excellence. And the way that you become excellence is by becoming you. You know how come you're failing and how come you're stumbling and how come it's so difficult to wake up in the morning because you can't find your grounding? It's because you're trying to be somebody else. The only way that you can succeed, the only sure way that you can be successful, because you only have your own unique experiences. You're the only one with your unique story. You're the only one that's ever done the things that you've done ever in the whole world. So it's pretty obvious that the only way you become the only successful thing is by being yourself. And I really want to implore you to stop being afraid and to put one shaking foot in front of the other shaking foot. Nobody wakes up a success. They always say, for you to get 5 minutes of fame, it takes 20 years. It's a 20-year project, but it's your job to put in the 10,000 hours. So I really want to say that as a black young woman living in South Africa, I've never experienced blackness as anything other than a response to whiteness. I have never experienced my youth as anything other than a reference point to economic opportunities, these youth funds. My gender, I've never experienced my gender, my womanness, my femininity, as anything other than a response to patriarchy. I have never in this country been seen as the standard. My very existence in the context of this country has always been as a response. Odd, isn't it? My skin, my size, my body, my mind, my age, my gender are all bundled together to create a data point, as they say. And they spew out the following. Zanele Modiba is a black, young, previously disadvantaged South African female. That is what all my years of working and toiling have led to. I grew up listening to Brooke Benton. I want to now give away my age. In one of his haunting songs, he says, the color of my skin is said to be an awful sin. My skin, this beautiful skin, is said to be a sin. I was called Badiachi when I played tennis instead of Badiashe, which is my maiden surname. But I still became the Ducks and the valedictorian in matric. My disadvantage was not a factor. I stood as an independent and the youngest contender of the SRC president in this year's institution. This was an apparent death sentence at the time, and I was called disillusioned and immature. Still, I won the election, and my age did not become a factor. Similarly, my experience with the Apprentice South Africa, the fact that I was 10 years younger than my co-winner and my friend, was fodder for those who thought that I was a compromise candidate. Still, I got the job, and my age was not a factor. When I managed departments leading employees who had more experience and were twice my age, my gender was highlighted as the obvious reason that I got appointed for the job. Never mind the fact that when I started my corporate career, I had over a decade of leadership experience. Still, I led the teams
and my experience was not a factor. And when I started my consulting firm, still I got the opportunities. The size of my business was not a factor. So this is the thing. You can make your odds a factor. You can do that. Or you can choose to see things differently. In South Africa, we have whole sections of our populations who have the odds stacked against them. Those who are geographically and economically marginalized, those who live below the breadline, who are still contending with the drought, with substandard private education and public education, with deficient energy systems, who are overwhelmed by a very, very expensive private healthcare system. Whilst we are all looking for this elixir of life that we have at our disposal, technology. Unfortunately, we cannot glibly algorithm our future. We have to take the steps, one step at a time. You cannot program your future outside of yourself. You have to be the code. That's the elixir of life. You are the elixir of life. You are the alternative. It goes without saying that a society without compassion is a scaffolding filled with broken people, forgotten dreams, and hopeless futures. It is dehumanizing to be an odd. So how do you get ahead and start on producing a society that is not devoid of consciousness? We have to respond first with compassion. I have parents and teachers and managers and colleagues and friends and total strangers to thank for their compassionate responses to my ambitions. I am not here by myself. I'm here as a result of every single bold step I took. Every single response I got was compassionate. So this is my parting shot to you. Be the compassionate against somebody else's odds. Thank you.
Today I feel like I'm going to be paid for free. You guys, I'm enjoying this so much. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Tinaga, we don't care. I'm 39. Oh. I don't care, Shane. I don't care. In actual fact, I always take it as an achievement. You know, you can die in life. There are people who lose their life at 16. So I'm sorted. I mean, unless if I see a potential, I'm 21 with a couple of years of experience. Okay, we're going to have desserts now. And then I think this is when we stop our live streaming. And then, yes, but I will, yes, and then I will